The Kubernetes series. Today is the Kubernetes day 6, and we learned till now. We learned about in the previous day. We learned about that what is the reverse proxy and how and where the reverse proxy used in Kubernetes. What are the different type of services in Kubernetes? What is the importance of labels? How does the node port service work? What are the differences between the port, target port, node port? So today we will continue the session and we'll try to understand about the multi-tier application. That what is the multi-tier application and how we create the multi-tier application. We will see the practical demo of it. Then we'll see that how to expose in Kubernetes. What are the ways to specify the shell variable, environmental variables in Linux? How to get the terminal of a pod running in Kubernetes, what are the commands to check stack limits in Linux, why give base case is important in recursion, and how to enter the environmental variables when running pod, what program is used to carrying environmental variable in PHP container image. So we'll look entire thing from the multi-tier application point of view. So, not wasting of the time, let's just go to the main part that that how the multi-tier application we can create. And before that, let me just show you the diagram of multi-tier application. So this is the multi-tier application where we have the two applications. Like one is the web application and another is the database. So, in the web application, we will install the WordPress and the WordPress, whatever we are using on the WordPress, then it will accessing the database MySQL using the connection string between the web app and the DB. So this is once we are using these two applications for the accessing of our site, then this basically application is known as the multi-tier application. So the similar applications that we have that you come across for the social site like the Facebook and other social sites, they are also using the same architecture where the request is coming onto the web application, which is acting like a Facebook, and at the back end there is a DB is using, which is storing the all the inputs that you are putting onto the Facebook, that is storing into the database. So in order to create this multi-tier application, we need two ports. So in one port, we will create the OS for the web application where we will store the WordPress image in the container, and the another port we will use where we will use it as we will use the image database image, and then we will use the URL for the WordPress in order to access the same from the browser, and can give some the preliminary inputs to enter into the website. So let's go to the terminal so that I can show you the practical demo that how we can create the this entire the multi-tier architecture. So in order to create the multi-tier architecture, let me just go to the terminal and can show you. Okay. So here is the terminal. So you can see that in this terminal, first we need to start the Minikube. So let's start the Minikube. Minikube start. Okay, so what it will do, it will just start the Minikube on which we will create the multi-tier application. So let's make it start. Okay, it is starting. Okay, so now you can see that the Minikube started, and now onto this Minikube, we will create the multi-tier architecture. So in order to create the multi-tier architecture, we need two ports as we discussed, and on these two ports, we will put the container, the image of the WordPress in the SQL, and accordingly we will see that how the image will be settled on this container. So in order to proceed further, so let me just check that what the practical demo has been done yesterday. So let me see the ports. So in the kubectl get ports, you will see that we created this replica set, replication controller, and the images. So in order to clean this complete the ports, we can run this command kubectl delete all hyphen all. So it will delete all these, the entire ports, replication controller, the services, whatever the infrastructure that we already created, that will be deleted. So once it will be deleted, then we will proceed further to create the pods. Now, if I'll run this kubectl get pods, now you can see that there is nothing, the port, there is no port currently running. Also, if I check the services, kubectl get SVC, so you can see that there is no currently services running because all the services are deleted. So now, in order to proceed further, we can see that how the SQL MySQL DB can be created. So in order to create the same, I can run this command kubectl run, and let's create the port name with the MyDB, and I can use the image hyphen image equal to, and I can use the image name. Now, in order to check the image name, that which image I can use, so I can use the Docker Hub for the same. So in order to use the Docker Hub, you can go to your browser and can search for the Docker Hub. So let me just show you. Let me just go to the browser and show you that how the Docker Hubs look like. And accordingly, you can search your image and can create your own architecture. So if you see here, this is the Docker Hub, and in this Docker Hub, you will see that this is the WordPress application that is opening. So here I am using my own credentials. You can create your credential onto this, the hub.docker.com, and can find this image. So if I remove this, and if I search the MyDB, yeah, you can search like MySQL. So here once you search it, then you will find this MySQL image. So I need to use the MySQL image. So I can click on this view available tags. So in the view available tags, it will show you the SQL version that is currently available. So here it is showing the SQL tabs. So let me just use this image Docker pull MySQL 5.7. So let's go to this terminal and use this image. So I'm just going back to the terminal, and we'll use the same image as it is given on the Docker Hub. So this is the, now I'm just going back to the terminal. Okay. So on this terminal, if I'm using the image MySQL, and then I can use colon 5.7. So once I run this command, so let's see what is the output. So currently the command is running. Okay, so you can see that the port MyDB created. And now let me just check the port kubectl get ports. And inside it, okay, so I can see that the status ideally it should be running, but it is coming as a crash loop back off. Now, So what can I do for this in order to check the description kubectl in order to do the troubleshooting for the same, that why this is coming. I can first check the describe kubectl describe and then port and then my DB. So it will give the description of the port. So now let's see, waiting for the command output. Okay, the command output came and it is showing that successfully assigned this image and created container mydb, started container, back off, restarting failed container. So the error is coming, and in case if I see the image, whether the image is successfully pulled from the Docker Hub, so I can see that the image is pulled, but it is giving the error. So now, in order to do the further troubleshooting, that how we can check that why this error is coming. So there is a command in the Kubernetes in the kubectl logs, and I can use the port name. So once I use this kubectl logs mydb, I get some more detailed description that why this error is coming. So I can see this entry point script for MySQL server they started. Then switching to dedicated server, entry point script for this started, database is uninitialized and password option is not specified. You need to specify one of the MySQL root password, empty password, and okay. So I got the issue that why this error is coming, and accordingly I can take the action. Now, why this issue is coming? This issue is coming because whenever we create any image, right, then keyword comes as entry point, right? This is the entry point. Whenever we create any the DB image, DB port, then the entry point comes into the picture, and this is the program name. So I can put the keywords using the environmental variables or the shell variable. Now, in order to the understand that what is the environmental variables and the shell variables, so let me take a quick example for the same so that you can understand that what is the environmental variable. So let me just run this kubectl get ports, and you can see over here that there is a pod is mydb is creating, but it is coming as a crash loop backup. Okay, so now in order to fix the same, we need to understand that what is the environmental variable. So let me just create one image, one pod, kubectl run, and let me create one the pod name as myos1 and image as the old image that we were using. Okay, so I'm just putting the image name. Okay, so let me just run this image. Okay, so now the port is created. I can check it from the kubectl get ports. So here the image, now you can see that the new port that is created, that is coming in the running state. Now, now in order to enter into this port, so in order to enter in this port, we need to run the command like kubectl execute -it, and I can use this port name and can use the bash. Now, once I run this command, I will be inside the port. So inside the MyOS, currently I'm in the MyOS. So if I can run the host name, let me just run. So it will show the MyOS one. Now, what is the environmental variable? So environmental variable is like that what is the already predefined inside the OS, and once you are executing the same, then it will give the same output. So for an example, let once you enter into the OS1, and if I print like echo $X, so currently it is showing nothing. So I want that once I just enter into the code, it shows the environmental variable output. So what I can do? So there is the bash.bash rc file. So if I do the lslrt inside the root, so inside the tilde sign, if you can see here, if I run the lslart, so in the lslart, I can find that this is the dot bash rc. So if I go to into the dot bash rc file, and at the end, if I write like x equal to 5, and after writing it, let me just come back out, and after then I can do the echo $x. So it is not showing, so I need to just exit it and then enter it again. So to enter the same, like kubectl execute it my os1 bash, and if I run like echo $x, so you can see I have not put any variable value inside it, but once I am running the echo $x, I can see the output like the 5. So this is the environmental variable that we have set. So once you will delete the pod, and once again you will enter it, then you will not find it same. So let me just come out of the pod and just let delete kubectl delete pod myos1. So I am just deleting this pod. Okay, so in order to test it, that once I'll create it again, and then I'll go inside it, and then will I get the same the environmental variable or not? Because I have deleted the complete port, so ideally I should not get. So let's see. So I have just created the another port with the same name, and I am running the command the kubectl execute -it os1. Okay, so I think that I should increase the font size so that it will be clear to everyone. Let me just increase the font size of the terminal. I think that now it is fine. It is visible, clear now. Okay, so what we have done, I have just run this kubectl execute it os1 bash command again, and after this, if I run like echo $x, so I don't find this file because this is a new OS is completely created. Okay, so now there is another way to set the environmental variable. Let me just delete this code and show you the another way to set the environmental variable. So instead of just going inside the OS inside the pod, I can set the environmental variable from the outside as well. So how can I how can I the set the environmental variable from the outside? So in order to show the same, let me just use this kubectl run. Let me just use this image name again. Okay, so you can see that the kubectl run myos1 hyphen image, and this is the image name. And in order to run this environmental variable from outside, I need to use the environment env equal to x equal to 10. For example, I want to store the value of 10 into the x. So let me just run it. So now it will do the pod is created with the environmental variable x equal to 10. Now once I will run the command kubectl execute -it, and the port name is like myos1, and after then I need to write the bash, so it will run into the bash environment. And if I'll run like the echo $x, so you can see that it has automatically taken the variable as 10, which we had not defined after just entering into the port, which we defined from the outside only. Once we executed the once we created the OS1 with the image, only then we set the environmental variable. So this environmental variable we understood, and the same we will use to define the environmental variable for the DB which we are creating. So let me just check the so let me just first come code and run this kubectl get ports. So if I'll run this kubectl get ports, I can see that my DB is there and it is still in the this same state, like the crash loopback. So what should I do? Let me just delete it. kubectl delete and the port like mydb. So let me just delete it. And let me just delete the another OS1 as well because it is of no use for us. This is only created for the understanding purpose. So let me just delete the my OS1. So both the port has been deleted now. Now I will create the mydb port again with the environmental variable with the same logic that we understood it just a few minutes back. So in order to create the same, I need to use the same command kubectl run, and after then I can use the port name like same mydb, and then I can use the image name hyphen image equal to, and the image name which I copied from the Docker Hub, that is the MySQL, and then colon 5.7, 5.7. So this is the image name basically we using from the Docker Hub. Okay, so now I can use the environmental variable like env equal to. So first environmental variable which we were getting as a error inside the log. So if I go on top of the terminal and can see that what is the error coming. So I can see the error is coming for the MySQL root password, right? These are the environmental variables, and you can get the same environmental variable from the, in case if you find it from the Google, that what are the mandatory environmental variable required once you are defining the DB. So let me type it MySQL root underscore password. So these are the mandatory variables. So let me define it as a Red Hat. Then the another environmental variable I can define like MySQL and underscore database equal to MyDB, and I can define the env equal to MySQL underscore user equal to, let's say I take my name Akash, and then I can define the another environmental variable MySQL and then underscore password equal to Akash. So both the name, username and the password I have set, and after then I have set the database name and set the MySQL root password, and this is the image I am using, and this is the kubectl run. So let me just run it, and let's see that whether now, okay, now the port is created, and now let's see that what is the state of the port. kubectl get ports. So if I use here, okay, now perfect. You can see that the port is now running, right? And if I see the kubectl logs and the mydb, so I'll see you can see that the logs are updating now, and the entire logs are coming that once the DB is created. Okay, so now what we will do next, we will try to see that what is inside this DB. So in order to go inside the DB, you already know that how we can go kubectl execute -it mydb bash. So once we will enter into the DB, right, I can use this command mysql -u username and -p my password, and I can enter into the DB, right? And if you will type like, so you showing that you have an error in your SQL syntax, check the manual that correspond to the MySQL version. So as you already worked upon the SQL DB, so you know these basics that how we can create a table, and inside the table, how can we create the fields inside the same. So if I with the use MyDB, so it has changed the DB name because we created the MyDB. And inside this, if you see the show tables, then it will show the empty. So here once we will create the WordPress image, and will inside the WordPress, if we will create some blogs, write some blogs onto it, then this will be created automatically in this DB. So we will see that how we will do the same. We will show I will show you. So let's come out, and after then, now let me create the image. Now let me just create the code for the WordPress image. So in order to create the same, I can use the kubectl create, and uh, kubectl run, and then I can use like WordPress name. I can use the mydb my WordPress. Okay, and hyphen image equal to, and in order to see the WordPress image, you can again go to the Docker Hub and can check the WordPress image, right? So in order to go and check the WordPress image, you can uh, go separately to the WordPress, and can find it. So I have already found it. So let me just write the name WordPress colon 5.11, and this hyphen PHP 7.3 hyphen Apache. So this is the WordPress image that I found it from the Docker Hub, and once I run it, so let me see if yes, the pod is created, and now let me just check whether the what is the output of the kubectl get ports. So it is showing that the error image full. Okay, so it is showing that there is some issue in the image. So we'll see that what is the issue in the image. So we can run it from the kubectl get log and my WordPress. So once I write this to check the logs, and here I can see the error from the server container my WordPress is in port is waiting to start image contain full. Okay, so there is a issue in the image that is clear from this log. So what I can do, I can use the, okay, so I think that here is the issue. The WordPress my WordPress colon 5.1 dot 1 hyphen PHP 7.3 hyphen Apache. So let me just run it. So it is already existing. So for that, I need to first delete the port, my WordPress. So this is good. Once we face any issue, we come to know that what are the different status and what are the different issue. Based on that, we can learn that how we can troubleshoot the same. So if I check that whether the port is successfully deleted, so let me just check it with kubectl get port, and I can see that only the mydb port is there. Port is there. So let me just create my WP, the port, and let's see if it is successfully pulled. The image is pulled, and okay, perfect. Now you can see that the my WordPress and the MyDB both are in the running state. So this shows that how so as per in the beginning of the session, I shown you diagram where I shown you the multi-tier architecture. So in the multi-tier, I took one the port where I loaded a image for the WordPress. I took the another port where I loaded the image for the SQL DB. Okay, so now I have the two ports, and I can check the logs for the kubectl logs and my WordPress. So let me check the logs for the my WordPress. So I can see here this WordPress not found this, and Apache resuming normal operation. Perfect. So now what I can do, I can run my I can kubectl. I need to run the services. So let me just check whether I have the services defined, because I have deleted all the services. So there is only the default, the type, that is the cluster IP, that is used for the internal communication. So in order to expose the code, WordPress code, so that it can take a request from the external user. I need to expose it and need to use a node port, because in the yesterday session we understood that how the node port will receive a request from the external clients, as there are the three type of the port that we understood. That first one is the port, the second one is the your node port, and the third one is your target port. So the port, so in order to define the node port, I need to define I need to expose the my this code WordPress. So in order to expose the same, I need to run this command kubectl expose and then my WordPress and then hyphen type equal to node port and node port and then hyphen port equal to 80. This is the port, the type of node port I'm using as a node port. As I already shared you yesterday as well, that it will take the default port between the 30,000 to the 32767. Within this port, it will allocate it. And after that, I'm using a port. This is the 80. This is the end target port. So let me just enter it. And after entering the same, it is giving some error. kubectl expose this. The server does not have a resource type. My WordPress and hyphen type node port hyphen port. Okay. So this is the error we are getting. The server does not have a resource type WordPress. So in order to define the resource type, I need to use here as a port as well, because the my WordPress is a port. So I need to expose this port to the with the node port. So let me just run it and let's see if it is running fine. Okay, perfect. Now it is running fine. And if I can see the kubectl get svc, so let's see what is the output. I can see this uh, the the node port type is assigned, and the port that is node port is allocated between the 31816, and this is the target port, which is assigning to the your the once the request will hit to the node port, it take it to the Kubernetes, and it will take to the end port 80. So now, in order to check the same, I need to find out the what is the IP of the DB. So in order to check the IP of the DB, I need to run the command kubectl get port. So let me just check the port name. This is the MyDB kubectl describe port MyDB. So once I describe the port, so here we'll get the, so in this DB you will find that all these environmental variable outputs are coming, and also I'm getting this the IP. This is the DB IP. So now in order to run the same, I can use the same the command to find the URL IP. So minikube service and what is my WordPress? My WordPress. This is my service and hyphen URL. So it will give the URL. So let me just see if the URL. Okay, now this URL is coming. So what I need to do, I just copy this URL. Okay, and now let's go to the image. So go to the browser. So let me just share you the browser that how it looks like. So once I'll copy this URL onto the browser, you will find that how the request is will hit to the WordPress. So this is the URL that I copied. Okay, this is the URL that I copied, and once I enter it, let me see that what happens. So perfect. Now you can see that the WordPress image is open right on this port 31816, and here the once the image is opened, I can continue the same. and it is asking for the welcome to the WordPress. Before getting started, we need some information: database name, username, password, host. Okay, now let's go. And here the database name I need to give. The database name we already know, that is the MyDB, and the past username already defined, that is the Akash, and DB host name, the IP that I shown you in the describe command, that is the MySQL DB. So let me just copy the same IP here so that the DB can be accessible. 172.17.0.7. So let me just copy it and then submit it. So once I submit it, once everything is fine, and DB started accepting a request from the WordPress. After then, you will receive this message. All right, Sparky, you have made it through the part of the installation. WordPress can now communicate with your database. And once I run this, run the installation. So I can see this is the information that is required. Site title. So let me just name is Akash site. Username I can use like Akash, and the password I can use like Akash exclamation mark 123 8456, and it is optional whether I can use it. So let me just take my email ID and then install WordPress. So once I do the install WordPress, so at behind the installation is ongoing. So if you see here, it is waiting, and perfect. Now the it is success. Well, let me just log in into this with my name Akash, and the password that I defined over there, Akash123@456. So here, let me just log in it, and you will find that how I can enter into the WordPress site. Okay, perfect. Now this is, you can see that I entered into the WordPress site. It is asking for howdy Akash, and this is the my site. And in fact, you can customize your site. You can create your blogs over here. Okay, so you can do anything on this WordPress site. So this is the complete use case of the multi-tier application. Okay, so in this way, in the today session, we understood that what is the multi-tier application and how we can create the multi-tier application from the Kubernetes. So let's go back to the slide and we'll show you that what we learned today. So based on that, we can at the end we can have some question answer session rounds. So if you see here that this is a multi-tier application use case we created, where the request is coming onto the WordPress. We created the blogs and anything. It is created on the pod, and it is using the network as a connection string and hitting the request onto the database, which is also created on the pod. And this is a multi-tier application. So now let's go next. Now this is a question session round. So now the basic question comes from the today's session. These are the basic question that comes from the today's session, and we will try. We are in a position to answer the same. That what is the multi-tier application? So now you can answer that the multi-tier application that is consisting of a the one is the your web application, and another is for the your DB. So we can say that it is the multi-tier application is aggregation of front end and the back end at one place. The request is coming from client hitting toward web server. That is the WordPress application, which is internally making connection string towards the DB. So this is a multi-tier application. Now the another question comes that how to expose in Kubernetes. So as I already shown you the practical demo that how can we expose the my WordPress. So using the kubectl expose port mywp type node port 80, we can expose the your the WordPress service so that it can receive the external request. Now the next question comes that what are the ways to specify the shell variable, environmental variables in Linux? Now after going through with the entire session where we did the practical demo, that you can understand that how we can define the environmental variables, where we use the kubectl run mydb image and using the different environmental variables like MySQL root password, MySQL database, etc. Now coming to the next question, that how to get the terminal of a pod running in Kubernetes. So you can find that using the command kubectl exeit myos1, the pod that we created, and then bash, we can enter into the pod that we created. Now the another question comes that the command to check the stack limit. So in Linux, so we can check the stack limit via the ulimit -s. So this is basically command we use. Now another question comes that why giving base case is important in recursion. So the base case is a simple case of the problem that we can answer directly. The base case does not use recursion. Each recursive algorithm must have at least one base case. Without at least one base case, it will act as a infinite recursion. Now the another question comes that how to enter the environmental variables when running pods. You can define the same using the kubectl run and then -- image, and then using the -- env, the environmental variables. You can define the environmental and can enter the environmental variables. Also, you can enter the environmental variables when running pods using the same kubectl run, the pod name, and then -- image, and then -- equal to x equal to 10, which is the example that we took into the session. Now, the another question comes that which program is used for carrying environmental variables in PHP container image. So this is the same which we already learned in the today's session. We can use the -- which is used to carry the environmental variable in the PHP container image. Then what is the client program for the connecting MySQL? So the MySQL client programs which enables you to send query to the MySQL server and receive their result. Okay, that is for the WordPress. And how to check logs for the port? So that is simple. That is kubectl logs and the port name. So through this, the entire session that is based on the multi-tier application and its entire practical demo. Hope you understood that how we can create it on the Kubernetes and how we can use the WordPress application just by deploying onto the the pods by using the two pods. One is for the WordPress and another for is the MySQL DB. I hope you like the today's session. Then, if you like the today's session, then please do the like in the below. And if you don't like the session, please do the dislike. And in case if you have any comment, then you can put in the comment section. Also, you can join the Telegram channel, which is given already in the description box below. And if you like the channel, then you can subscribe it so that you will get the notification for the upcoming videos. Okay, thank you. Thanks all for joining the session. Thanks, bye. See you in the coming session for the Kubernetes topics. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.